adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. You done the girl. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, you done the girl. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. You on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Oh, you on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. You done the girl. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, you done the girl. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good morning. Good morning, good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel. And welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and we're here with you to share information, updates, activities as much as we can to help to further develop our students and our young people. And of course, it is a beautiful day here on Nevis, and a wonderful day to say let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm hoping the children are up. They may have had a transitional week, and so I'm hoping that they're up. And parents, we want to make sure that we're keeping them on track and on schedule, so that they can be alert even during the school week. Of course, this week was our first week back from the first official week back from the summer break. Our students went on break in July, and they returned to school this week. And so, of course, the first week of school is always about getting to know our students and getting to know the students, getting to know their teachers. And so that happened during the course of this week. The next 2 weeks, just a reminder for parents that in the next 2 weeks we will have 4-day weeks because of the upcoming independence celebrations. And so the school week next week will run from Monday to Thursday, as Friday is National Heroes Day, and then in the following week it will run from Tuesday to Friday, as the Monday is our Independence Day. And so we will have the Independence Day celebrations happening, and those are public holidays, so parents will be at home as well for most part. But remember that these are not school days. So we will have many activities happening this week. We know independence related activities. Students will be doing assignments and other things related to independence, raising an awareness of the various components of our journey to independence and other national symbols and things along that line. So those will be reinforced for our students, and of course that happens from the preschool straight up. And so we know that our students will have a chance to reconnect with our independence, various independence symbols, and the history of our independence and all of those things. So parents, I know that you know this like the back of your hand. It's technically something that we share every first term, the first couple of weeks of the term, as we celebrate our independence. This, of course, is our 39th independence anniversary, and so we will have various celebrations happening. This makes 39 years since St. Kitts and Nevis gained independence, and there are various activities happening. We want to highlight the national colors activities, which started yesterday. Actually, yesterday was We Are Green. This is not just for students. This is actually across the entire federation. So adults are encouraged to participate, but our schools will definitely be participating. And so on Monday we see the color of focus being yellow. On Tuesday the color of focus is black. On Wednesday the color of focus is white, and on Thursday the color of focus is red. So each day we're extracting one of our colors, our independence colors, and focusing on that, and we're trying our best to make it something meaningful for our students, not just wear the color day, but figuring out ways of sharing what those colors mean and reiterating and repeating it. So we encourage your parents to participate if your school has reached out and given you the guidelines as to what the expectations are for the wearing of the national colors. Please be guided accordingly. Please make sure that you follow all instructions given. Outside of that, we know also that the Independence Parade will take place on the 19th of September, and that is our Independence Day. The parade commences at 8 a.m. at the ETW Park. And so if your child has been selected to participate, please ensure that he or she is ready and out and poised to represent his or her school, but also, of course, our federation in this very important activity. We've had a hiatus from the national parade, and so it is, of course, with pleasure that we continue to resume this year, and we would like to have full participation. Also, I would like to update you, listeners and parents. We have a few back-to-school services happening this week as well. We have one taking place tomorrow, back to school Thanksgiving service for St. Thomas's Primary School, and that is taking place at the St. Thomas's Anglican Church from 9 a.m. and the theme is Pathway to Greatness. And so we encourage supporters and friends of the students of the St. Thomas's Primary School to join them as they invoke God's presence and give thanks to the Lord for bringing us to this new school year. And of course that we pray over our students. We pray that they would have a blessed and safe academic year. On Tuesday, we will have the back-to-school service for the students in the St. James Parish, St. James Primary, Viogen Primary, and Combermere Preschool, and that service will take place at the Combermere Methodist Church at 9 a.m. That's happening on Tuesday, and the same obtains family members, supporters, and friends of our schools in the St. James Parish. And this service will focus on our students who attend the St. James Primary, Viogen Primary, and Combermere Preschools. However, we know that we once again want to ensure that we place our students in God's hands, and that this year, it is our prayer that this year will be a successful year for all of our students. And so it is important for us to start our year on a positive note, and we want for our students to also understand culturally we are a federation connected to God, and everything that we do, we put God first in all that we do, and so we want our students to understand that as well. And so please support, make sure your child or children are at school early and ready for the various services. Okay, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
From Queen City, Nevis, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, Vaughn Radio.
and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. An hour passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. And of course, just before the break, we were just bringing some updates. It's back to school week for our students, and of course, they made it through the first week. Just a few more to go until we get to the end of term one, and we want our students to give their best, to work hard, to ensure that they're enjoying the experience during this school term, and we hope that we will see higher levels of student success. We'll talk a bit more about that later. I was bringing some updates in relation to the expectations. So we shared the Independence National Colors Week, the activity which focuses on displaying one color of the national flag each day, and we started yesterday with green. We will continue, and this is not something solely happening at the schools. This is happening throughout the federation, and so we're encouraging everyone to participate. We had green yesterday, as I said, and then Monday is yellow, Tuesday black, Wednesday white, and Thursday red. And we know Friday, of course, is a holiday, so we will not have any sessions on Friday. Friday is a day when our students will remain at home. We also focused on the National Parade. The parade happening here on Nevis in celebration of independence, and that takes place on Monday, 19th September at 8 a.m. And we look forward to seeing our students present, punctual, and participating for this activity. As we continue, we have a few scholarships. We have, I think, 4 scholarships active currently. We encourage students to participate. We encourage persons to apply. I think over the past couple of weeks and months, we've reiterated the importance of getting scholarships, because it helps you to save so much, and higher education can sometimes, well, most times, the higher education is very costly, and so any opportunity that we may come across, we encourage us to apply, to participate. So we have a few new ones out there, and remember that I said I've encouraged students over time to apply for scholarships, even if they are not in the Western Hemisphere. If you realize it's not in the US, or it's not in Canada, it's not in the Caribbean region, you can still apply, because it is helpful to you when you don't have a student loan at the end of this process. And so the Serbian scholarship is one of the new ones that has been added, and so I would like to share that one with you. The Nevis Island Administration, Ministry of Human Resources, is delighted to announce that the Republic of Serbia Scholarship 2022 is now available. It is made available to one national of St. Kitts and Nevis who wishes to pursue an undergraduate or graduate degree in Serbia. Kindly note that applicants should not be older than 26 years old. So if you've graduated from sixth form in the last under 10 years, you would be eligible. If you graduated from high school in that time period, you should be eligible. But you cannot be older than 26 years old. And the benefits of the scholarships include, but are not limited to Serbian language preparatory courses, accommodation and food in student centers, that's good, resident visa, monthly scholarship monetary award, and health insurance. The scholarship does not cover airfare, public transportation, and cost of textbooks. The deadline for applications to the Ministry of Human Resources, right there at PINIS, the Social Security Building, the deadline is Friday, September 30th. So you have about a few more weeks left, prospective applicants, to get those applications in. Please note that the deadline on the scholarship guideline is October 31st. However, this date is for application to be received by the embassy and not for human resources. Therefore, applications received after September 30th will not be accepted. And if you need any information, if you need support, if you need some more details in relation to the terms and conditions of the scholarship awards, the participating faculties, to access the application form itself or anything at all that you may need, please reach out to the ladies there at the Ministry of Human Resources, Mrs. Shelley Jones-Liebert, Mrs. Shanola Murray-Gill, and Miss Chanel Skeet. We also have, and this one ends this Thursday, so if you are applying to this one, please make sure that you get your forms in, your documents in before this Thursday. Deadline is Thursday for the OAS scholarship opportunity. The Ministry of Human Resources is pleased to inform that the Organization of American States, OAS, in collaboration with the Universidad Ana Mendez, is offering partial scholarships for OAS member states. The courses will be offered on-site in the United States in English and Spanish. The scholarship covers a one-time tuition allowance of $4,000 and all other expenses will be borne by the recipient. Interested participants should submit their applications online. There is a link. If you go on to NIA scholarships, you'll be able to see the link. The deadline, as I said, is the 15th of September, which is this Thursday. And once again, reach out to the ladies there at the Ministry of Human Resources if you need any support to get that done. We also have the Embassy of Switzerland Excellence Scholarships for 2024. And so the Ministry of Human Resources here in Nevis wishes to inform you that the Embassy of Switzerland in Santo Domingo has sent their postgraduate scholarship call and seeks to award 10 scholars and researchers in St. Kitts and Nevis. The three types of scholarships being offered for the 2023-2024 academic year in Switzerland at a Swiss university in the following areas: research, PhD, and postdoctoral, and covers all areas except the arts. Interested applicants should complete all forms and return them to the Ministry of Human Resources by Monday 26th September for onward processing. For additional information, you can visit www.sbfi.admin.ch/scholarships_ENG. And of course, you will be able to review the guidelines, and if you need support, please feel free to reach out to the ladies there at the Ministry of Human Resources. And then the final open active scholarship that we have currently is the 2023-2024 United Kingdom's Chevening scholarships. And so the Ministry of Human Resources wishes to inform you of the United Kingdom's Chevening scholarship scheme. The Chevening scholarship scheme provides individuals with the opportunity to pursue a 1-year fully funded master's program at a UK university during the 2023-2024 academic year, and comes with the following added benefits: fully funded tuition fees to your chosen university, living expenses for the duration of your studies, return flight to the UK, access to exclusive events across the UK, and joining an international chevening network. And the application process, of course, it started on August 2nd and it will close out on November 1st, 2022. And for more information, access www.chevening.org. That's CHEVENING. Or once again, contact Mrs. Shelley Jones-Liburd, Mrs. Shanola Murray-Gill, or Miss Chanel Skeet at the Ministry of Human Resources. They will be able to assist you. They'll be able to guide you through the process. And as I've said previously, when you're applying to scholarships, when you're applying for scholarships, please ensure that you stay ahead and that you start the process early. The last thing that you need is for you to submit an incomplete application, because you will automatically cancel yourself out. And you also want to be wary of and be mindful of the fact that you want to appear at your best, because you're competing against many persons. So sloppy, nasty presented documents are not, filthy and untidy. You don't take your time to get it done. Present your best handwriting in cases where you have to handwrite the application, or if you have the opportunity to properly type and check for spelling errors and grammatical errors. All of those things are important to put yourself out there. I also want to encourage you, all of you, to ensure that, and for those who are still perhaps in high school or contemplating applying for scholarships in the future, there are some key things that you need to remember in order to be successful in a scholarship application process. We had the opportunity this week to meet with the incoming sixth form students, well, those who will be there for this school year, both 6A and 6B, and we underscore the importance of preparing yourself for the next level, even though you're not accessing them currently. And so one of the things for all of you listening, if you are applying, I'm hoping that you have a well-balanced, holistic application where you were active or engaged in various extracurricular activities, or at least one, something that can not only build your resume but build your application for your scholarships. And so I've said to persons, and when I was in college, one of the things that they said to us when we applied for scholarships is that you can have a 4.0 GPA perfect and not get a scholarship if somebody has a 3.5 or a 3.7 GPA, but they have shown community involvement and volunteerism, and different, that they're active in various areas of the community, active in various groups. And so when you're submitting an application, they want to see evidence that you can handle, because when you go to college, it's not strictly academics. It's not just go to class and go home and study, but you have other things that are happening. And so those are the persons who are able sometimes to get scholarships. So while I encourage, of course, academic excellence, we also encourage our students to make sure that they're involved in other things, other activities. So take your time, as I said, and fill those forms out accurately. Take your time, because you want to present the best version of yourself. And that is impossible to do when you start your application process so late, and that is why we share this information with you weekly, in addition to the other platforms on which you get it, so that you are aware of what is out there and you can start taking steps towards being successful in this area. So for those who are going to make the attempt, congratulations on taking the step. If you are not successful and you have to go again, know that you should spend that time in between building your resume, building your scholarship application, so that you are more attractive to the persons who are doing the deliberations. And so that is, of course, our update on our scholarships, and we encourage students to take advantage of them, pay attention to the stipulations. Remember, some of them have an age stipulation. You can't be older than a certain age, or some of them have other stipulations, and so please make sure you read the fine print so that you know what you're getting yourselves into. And so on that note, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
8:60 a.m. The Powerhouse.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. An hour passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and we're sharing lots of updates and information with you, and that's how it is for the first few weeks of school. We have lots of updates so that our parents and well-wishers and stakeholders are aware of what is happening as we start the process. And so once again, for those who are just tuning in, we have a few activities, independence-related activities that will be happening. Parents, just remember that the 16th and 19th are holidays, and so students remain at home for those days. And then we highlighted the National Colors Week, where students would wear their various patriotic colors. Know that your school's principal will should have shared or will share as long as and the stipulations in which you would have to wear the national colors. So for instance, one school may say you can wear the colors, an accessory, if their socks or something like that. They might tell you, for instance, you may wear a t-shirt under your uniform. So you will get different options. Your school will give you the guidelines accordingly if the student body is participating in the National Colors Week. And then, of course, the same obtains for the National Parade, for the parade here on Nevis, which will take place on the 19th at 8 a.m. And that is open to the general public, but we encourage participation from our students. They have to be part of the various processes that are happening at school so that we can continue to grow and become more connected with our country, with our island, and the expectations, and we can have a sense of pride, national pride, coming out of these connections and activities that we have. Also, we'll continue with some important updates. Early dismissal Wednesdays will commence this week, effective 14th of September. We will continue with the early dismissal Wednesdays, and we have various professional development sessions happening for our teachers and for our staff members. And so we have our early dismissal Wednesdays happening, and we want to encourage everyone or all parents to pay keen attention to this. The rationale behind early dismissal Wednesdays is to keep our teachers up to date with the various professional development sessions so that they can remain up to date and can do their jobs at a higher level to support our students. Some weeks we will have professional development sessions. Some weeks we use the opportunity for our staff meetings and heads of department meetings and department meetings based on the level. So we use this time to at the middle of the week to make sure that we're in the right place and that we're charting the course for the way forward. Early dismissal Wednesdays will continue effective September 14th, which is this Wednesday. Also, October 5th is World Teachers Day. October 5th is World Teachers Day. That is also a Wednesday. Our early dismissal Wednesday for that day will be half day because we want to give our teachers an opportunity to celebrate World Teachers Day. And so parents, please bear that in mind. We also announced last week that there is an extended weekend or midterm break on the academic calendar, and that runs from the 28th of October to the 31st of October, with classes resuming on November 1st. So there is a midterm break or extended weekend. It's actually a Friday and Monday, the 28th and the 31st, and so it's an extended weekend for our students, a midterm break. So parents, please bear that in mind as well as we plan the way forward. And some persons, you have to put your submissions in for if you have to take the days off, or if you have to make provisions with a family member to, or your supervisors to support your children for those days. So please take keen note of these expectations and these activities. Early release Wednesdays every Wednesday commencing the 14th of September, and then we'll have October 5th, World Teachers Day. We will have that as a half day early release, and then on midterm break, which will take place on the 28th, from the 28th to the 31st of October, both days inclusive, with sessions resuming on the 1st of November. The end of term one would be the 2nd of December for our students, and teachers December 9th. 2nd December for our students, teachers December 9th. So those are the bits of information that we have for you parents, and we want to make sure that you are connected, that you are aware, so that you can plan accordingly. It is never our wish or hope to give you the information late so that you're not able to meet the necessary provisions. Our aim is to always give you the information early enough where you can make the necessary provisions. So we hope that we have done so, and we hope to see we will hope for your continued support and to remain connected with you for the rest of the school year. Also, this season, this is term one. In term one, we usually have football season, so stay tuned. We will have some updates in short order as it relates to the schedule and the expectations for our football season. And we know that our athletes, our footballers, are looking forward to football season. We will try to ensure that we're creating a good balance, and we're teaching students, we're modeling the importance of balance for football season, and so for all seasons, all athletic or sports related seasons. And so we will make sure that we protect instructional time while allowing students to be able to do so. We also have had a partnership for the last few, maybe about 2-3 years, with the St. Kitts Autism Spectrum Center, and we hope that while raising an awareness of autism, we also want to share with parents and well-wishers the various ways in which we can support our students who have been diagnosed with autism. And so we are looking for, once per month, there is an interactive activity for our students who have been diagnosed with autism, and we try to get volunteers for that activity. So we're if anyone is interested in volunteering once per month with students across the system, and we have students with autism who are both in the mainstream classroom setting and those who are at Cicely Brown Integrated Autism, and it depends on the level of functionality. Our students integrate well into the mainstream classroom, and so we want to, as I said, raise that awareness. And so if you are interested in volunteering, please reach out to us at the Department of Education. Let us know you're interested in volunteering, and the engagement activities usually last about 3 hours once per month. Usually about the middle of the month, we'll have a 3-hour engagement, usually at the community center, and we work with letting them have fun, interact with each other, and of course help persons, like I said, to get an appreciation and an awareness of what the expectations are as it relates to autism. So we want to say a special thank you and kudos to the Autism Spectrum Center. They have been doing an exceptional job. They have supported us very well, and we are so appreciative of them for the work that they have done to date. And coming over, they come over, the team comes over, well, it used to be twice per month, but they've increased the frequency of that as well. And so we are, as I said, very grateful to the team. They saw the need, and they're helping to support our system, and we will be able to do much more if we have the support of the community in doing our engagements. And this past summer, we were able to see our first summer camp, and the summer camp was held right here on Nevis, and we had our students who have been diagnosed with some version of autism, and there's a spectrum. And so if there is some evidence that they are anywhere on the spectrum, they were open or invited to the summer activity, and that was really, really good. That was interesting for them, and they appreciated it so much. So just to give you the dates in case you're available for any volunteer activity to work with the students for, usually, as I said, it's just a morning session, it's not all day. So if you are available, the dates, there's one per month: 22nd of September, 20th of October, 17th November, 19th January, 16th February, 23rd March, 18th May, 15th June. So those are our engagement sessions, and if you are available to volunteer, and if you are planning your calendar for next year, we are looking at July 10th to 13th and 17th to 20th for the summer camp activity. And so if we, as I said, we would appreciate any support from anyone out there who's willing to assist. Usually with autism, our students are high functioning in many areas. Some of our students who have been diagnosed with autism are nonverbal, which means they don't speak, and sometimes you might see some sensory issues. Lots of times they are these students who particularly have challenges with loud rooms. If it gets too noisy, it gets overwhelming. If it's too bright, it's overwhelming. And so the sensory overload is what really affects our students. So we encourage everyone to get to know a bit more about autism, what we can do to help our students, to support our students, so that they are able to feel welcomed. And as I said, many of our students with autism are in our mainstream classroom, and so to help other students to understand that the main challenge is probably a communication or social issue. Sometimes they tend to be by themselves or not interact often with other students. It depends, and so sometimes you may have to just embrace them and encourage them, and without creating that level of sensory overload. Sometimes it's a communication issue, so they're not very communicative, or they don't speak as much. And some students who have been diagnosed with autism are very communicative. They talk a lot. It just depends on, as I said, the level and where they fall on the spectrum. So sometimes we see very high interest in certain areas. I often recount one of my former colleagues, when I was working in Texas, her son was diagnosed on the spectrum, and at the time, mainstream classroom, and at the time, he did things. He ran track. He loved cross country, long distance races, all of those things. And then he got to a point where he got into a Spanish class, and this young man, he went from he got a special interest in Spanish, and he learned Spanish he sounded so fluent within the first year, and he's now a pastor in Mexico. He's married and he has children, and he's preaching in Mexico, coming from having a lot of those social issues where he was verbal, so he communicated well, but he didn't like crowds, and he preferred to be in his own space, and some of the sensory challenges as well. But I said that to say that our students with autism can do the same thing. They have their strengths, and there are certain things that they tend to focus on and excel in and surpass everyone else with. And so using these social engagements, and my reason for encouraging us to volunteer is that using these social engagements, we can not only get an awareness and appreciation for autism, but we can also use the opportunity to see where those students' strengths are and help them to move in that direction so that they can also excel and do very well. And so the encouragement is there. If you need to know more, if you want to volunteer, reach out and let us know so that we can make provisions for that. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Sugar City Saint kids, keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around, and adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. Of course, we are bringing you lots of updates and information as we prepare, and we're poised to excel, to succeed during this academic year, 2022-2023 academic year. And so we shared some information and updates there with you parents, and we'll try to make sure that we get all of this out electronically via social media so that you can be up to speed and keep up to date with the expectations, especially with our various closure dates, so that you are up to speed with that and you can make your provisions. Reminder that early dismissal starts this Wednesday, the 14th of September, and our schools will dismiss at 2 on Wednesdays unless otherwise directed. On the 5th of October, though, that's World Teachers Day. So start prepping for what you're going to do for your child's teacher, for your children's teachers. October 5th is World Teachers Day, and we want you to celebrate our teachers, and we want to celebrate our teachers and to show appreciation. So we will be allowing them an early release half day. So instead of 2 o'clock early release on that Wednesday, we will have a 12 noon early release for that day. And then we gave the midterm break dates, October 28th to 31st, with students returning on November 1st. That's actually an extended weekend, so the students will get the Friday and Monday off. And then end of term 1 for students, December 2nd. For our teachers, December 9th. And we also did a call for persons who are interested in volunteering for the autism activities through the Autism Spectrum Center. We have some social engagements once per month. We share the dates. If you're interested in volunteering, please let us know at the Department of Education. Next week we will be focused on independence activities for the whole of the week, and so each school will have their various activities. Parents, please encourage your children to participate, and in instances where the school has an open invitation for you, feel free to join our students and our schools as we celebrate our independence activities. We also have here on Bond Radio, we're going on Youth on the Go. We're going to do a special Independence edition for next week and the following week on Youth on the Go, where we will have special questions and activities related to independence and questions for our listeners and for our viewers. Also, next week is the third Saturday of the month, so we can look forward to the last half hour of next Saturday's show. We will have the ECCB Children's Connection, and Ajarne will join us for the last half of the show to share with the ECCB Children's Connection. So we have lots of new prizes from ECCB. We think that children would like them, and so we're giving you a week's notice so that next week you're primed and ready to also win those. So we'll have prizes for the Independence Edition. We'll have prizes through the ECCB Children's Connection, and we encourage children to participate. Parents, I know that Saturday mornings are times when children want to sleep in late, but just make sure they're up by 9 o'clock. It's not very healthy to have our children in bed at noon. It takes them off their entire school week schedule. So 9 o'clock is a good time. They will get a few extra, maybe an hour and a half of sleep in, and by 10 minutes to 9, wake them up so that they can tune in for our special Independence Edition for our ECCB Children's Connection for the next week's show. As we close out, I just want to share with you some tips for as we navigate and reintegrate for our back to school activities. We're encouraging you to make sure once again that you develop routines. Routines are important for our students. We have observed that structures at home are not always present, and so we wanted to, as I said, reiterate the importance of establishing your structures and your routines at home. That means, and this is not just for preschoolers or primary schoolers, our high schoolers also need to be in bed at a decent time, no later than 9 o'clock. Our preschoolers need to be in bed no later than 7:30. 7 o'clock is perfect for them. 7:30. Our children need rest. Rest is integral to their development and their growth, and so we are encouraging parents to establish a routine starting with rest. For some reason, if you allow them to, they'll stay up all night, and what we're seeing on our end is lack of focus. We're seeing children who are dozing off, and we know our preschoolers, as they adjust to not having a nap time during the day, they get tired a little bit easier. So we have to make sure that they get a full night's rest as part of their routine. Another part of their routine is breakfast, making sure that our children eat something before they leave home. Parents, we note that our high schoolers, for some reason, they tend to tell you they don't need breakfast. And especially the girls, as they get older, and I don't know if it's image conscious, they tend to try to skip breakfast. That's not a practice that we encourage, because remember that nutrition is important to brain development. Just like sleep and rest, it's important to the ability to focus as well. And so that is breakfast and eating all of their meals, that's another part of establishing their routine. And we want you to know that even though they have these routines at school, that on the weekends we encourage parents to keep as tight a schedule or routine as possible and keep it as close to what the students experience during the school week, so that they are able to once again maximize the time with teachers. Teachers can teach wonderful, beautiful lessons, but it's very difficult, near impossible, to help our students to excel and succeed if they're tired and if they are hungry. They're not going to focus very well. So we encourage you to establish those routines. We also encourage you to ensure that they have a routine for when they get home from school, and so they know your expectation is that you do this when you get home. Sometimes, children have their school uniforms on way into the night. No, tell them when they get home you have to change out, you have to take a shower, you have to have dinner, you have to do your homework, and then you can spend the rest of the evening until bedtime doing any leisure activity. Children should not come home and have to remain on the tablet for the whole night until it's bedtime, and 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock they're still watching YouTube videos and life hacks and all of the things that they TikToking all night. They enjoy those things and they have fun with them, and with your supervision and guidance they can use them appropriately. However, we encourage you to monitor. So establishing a routine which includes homework and reviewing from the day. Every child should be able to do some revision from what they did during the day. And for our younger learners, story time, bedtime activities are perfect because it helps them once again to remain on course. Remember that our children can do well if we keep their brain engaged. We have to make sure that we are keeping them engaged and active. And sometimes parents, you have your own challenges, you have your own school scheduling challenges, but we want you to know that establishing some form of a routine helps your child to be successful, even in areas where you can't help them, maybe academically. Some of us might say, I can't do fifth form chemistry. That's okay. You might not have the content, but you create an environment, and you are your child's first teacher. You create an enabling environment for education at home, and so we want to encourage you to remember your role, remember the part that you play in getting them there. And then ensuring that you have at least one extracurricular activity for your child. Some of our students do well. They have football. Our boys, I know, especially those in the Bath Village area, they enjoy football time, and that's nearly almost every day. For some children, they have swimming. We have the Swim to Win program, and we've had Terry here several times marketing. Swim to Win start resumed today, and so for the next 6 weeks, they will be going through Swim to Win programs. Following Swim to Win, in addition to Swim to Win, we have additional activities. We have dance. Some children are interested in dance, though that is available. We have martial arts, karate, that's available. There are so many activities. I can not even go past the tip of the iceberg this morning with the types of activities that are out there for our children to participate in. Pick one thing that they can participate in and keep them balanced and keep them holistically developed. Our churches have our Sunday school programs. We have children's church programs. We have Pathfinders. We have brownies and girl guides and all of those activities. And so encourage them to be part of it. And so parents, listeners, it is going to be a successful year. We can't do it by ourselves. We need you to take us through. Have a wonderful week.
With all the power from